Well, we got good news in the wood shop. I'll be able to start work back there again. We're going to head over there in just a second. Just to recap what I was doing for the last few weeks, we got these 10 concrete piers poured. We got this massive concrete block wall installed and moved the electric and all that stuff, ran electricity to this building, and we ran the septic system from right where those flags are there, down to the end of the wall, under the wall, across the street, and to the other side of the yard to our septic system. Back here in the wood shop, I have the remnants of making the rebar cages for the tiny house. I got a bunch of that out here as well. Bunch of rebar cutoffs, rebar over there. I got to get that stuff cleaned up, and what I'm going to do is get everything off this wall, get everything off of the plywood, move my temporary bench, get everything ready to go, and we're going to be starting on beefing up that door next week. I've come up with this video format for the channel, and I'm going to be using this on this project. I'll explain this a little more as we go through the project, but I'm going to make separate videos for different phases of construction, and some projects may combine a couple of these, some may have separate videos for all of them, but at the end of the project, I'm going to go through and make a shorter condensed version and a really short time-lapse version. So when the project's over, you can watch those. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch all the other stuff. And if you do like the project, you can go back and see how it was done. And I'll have drawings on the web that you can download, stuff like that. I've got the lumber for the beef up on the door. Let me show you the current version of the drawings. They're almost done, and that would be in the scope video, which I'm going to be starting next week. So let me show you those drawings, and we'll get to cleaning this place up. I believe this is an older version. Yeah, that's an older version. This is the current version. I'm almost done with these drawings. I have enough to start though, so I'm going to start on it. This is kind of an overview of what this beef up is going to be. In the very latest version, which is even newer than this, I have the door design, and well, we'll go over that when we actually get to the door, but it's pretty interesting. We got what the assembly is going to look like, the beef up assembly. 3 pieces plus these hinge mounts right here, or hinge beef ups. And we got the 3 pieces right there. I have some markups here. I don't have a dimension there, and these aren't labeled. So that'll be changing shortly. And I have a lot of the screw information on these now, and this is a far more detailed version of a couple of the parts. I still need to come up with a plan for the mortise template design, and I believe that's it. There might be a little bit more about assembly, but these mortises, I have to figure that all out. I'm probably going to route those before I put these assemblies on, but I haven't really determined that yet. I'll give you a quick little tour of what the shop looks like right now, and then we'll get to cleaning. A lot of materials on this wall and stuff that needs to get out of here right here. We're going to be starting right here, so I'm going to need some room. Lots of stuff from working on the tiny house. my daughter's project here, the rebar again. Oh, and I'm going to be getting this on. I'm not sure if that's going to be this week, but I really need it soon. So that's a pressure switch for this. But this area needs to be cleaned. This, I believe this will stay right where it's at. This is the lumber for this project. And just some general cleaning here and there. All of this stuff has to come off of there, and I'll be doing reviews on all of this stuff on this project. I'll be using the track saw to break some of the materials down. I'll be using the domino joiner for the joinery on the door, as well as the beef up. We got the tracks right here, track connector. I don't know. We just got miscellaneous stuff, and I'll be doing some routing with this DeWalt router, and this is the battery for that. So I'll be doing quick reviews on all of this stuff, and I'll put those videos out like midweek. The shop build stuff is going to come out on Saturdays. Okay. This is what it looks like now, and this is what it looks like afterwards. Yeah, that took quite some time. A lot of the time was spent getting rid of the old miter table. I have the old infeed table right here. I'm going to be using that as a bench, and then I'll be getting rid of this as well. This had like lichen growing on it. This was stored outside for a while in one of those shelters, and it had some nasty stuff on it, and I cleaned it up with this super clean all wheel cleaner, and surprisingly it took that stuff right off. Not that it matters, but it's kind of nice having a clean bench while it lasts. So I'll be taking the wood from here and setting up a big bench, a 4x8 bench right here, and I'll be processing this stuff right here for the door project. And as soon as that's done, the bench top, the temporary bench top, will be cut up, and I'll start doing the wall. It should only take a couple hours to get this stuff machined up, but the details, that's going to take a day or two probably. It depends on how much I film. They're not super detailed, but there is going to be a lot of layout to do on these. And you could see that this beefy wood right here, that's going to beef up for the hinges on there. This thing's got quite the hook in it, but we'll take that out on the jointer. And I mean, it's only 3 pieces, I believe. I was just working on this. There's 3 pieces that beef up the hinge side, and then there's 2 pieces for the jamb. And I'm not sure if I'm going to put the cleat or make the cleat in maple. I believe I'm just going to do that in pine like the rest of the wall. It doesn't need to be super strong. Well, actually, on this side, I'm going to need a maple chunk where the catch is going to go in. I don't even have that in the drawings. I just thought of it now. Okay, well, let's modify the drawings, and then we're going to need a maple furring strip right here. Okay. Well, it's all coming together, and you'll be able to see it next week. I think that's going to wrap up this video. We have 971 subscribers and 29 left to go before we hit 1,000. At 1,000, YouTube allegedly promotes the channel more, and you can monetize it. And I was hoping to get there before summer because summer is just a really dead time for YouTube. But now that it's getting to be fall, hopefully we can get to 1,000. If you're not subscribed, I hope you do so. And we'll see you next week when we start making the beef up for the door frame.